Well guys, the WWE SummerSlam 2021 pay-per-view event is now officially over and done with, and by all means SummerSlam this year was a noteworthy and monumental show for WWE, and there were lots of intriguing and big moments that took place all throughout the SummerSlam card. And before we get into the main story of this video regarding SummerSlam 2021, we will provide the fans who possibly missed out on the show a brief recap of all the matches along with the major rumors circulating right now about the plans WWE have in place for SummerSlam's winners moving forward. The action at SummerSlam 2021 kicked off on the pre-show with the match between SmackDown's Baron Corbin and the current men's Money in the Bank briefcase holder Big E, who had his briefcase stolen recently by Baron Corbin. After a back and forth match between Big E and Corbin, Big E picked up the win over Baron Corbin after landing that big ending finisher, and Big E successfully reclaimed his Money in the Bank briefcase after the match ended that Baron Corbin had stolen, much to the delight of fans. And it's clear WWE do have big plans for Big E. The SummerSlam 2021 main card opened up with a highly anticipated Raw Tag Team Championship match between the defending champions AJ Styles and Omos against their challengers Randy Orton and Riddle, aka RK Bro. Now by all means most fans were ecstatic to see Randy Orton and Riddle back together and getting a big opportunity at the Raw Tag Team titles tonight at SummerSlam, and it seemed probable that WWE were going to be crowning some new Raw Tag Team champions tonight, and that's exactly what ended up happening. After a pretty decent match between the two teams, Randy Orton and Riddle managed to pick up the win over AJ Styles and Omos, with Randy RKOing AJ Styles, and RK Bro are now the new Raw Tag Team Champions, a decision that was met with a lot of praise from fans. And according to one of our sources, WWE have realized just how popular RK Bro had been getting recently on Raw, and there was apparently no way the two superstars were not going to be getting that big win tonight at SummerSlam, so congratulations to Riddle and Randy Orton on the major Raw Tag Team title win together. We then had the Alexa Bliss vs Eva Marie singles match. Not surprisingly, this was a very quick match, with Alexa Bliss defeating Eva Marie with a DDT. And the bigger talking point surrounding this match between Eva Marie and Alexa Bliss was the fact that Doudrop basically turned on Eva Marie following her loss to Alexa Bliss, and walked out on her, signaling that their alliance together is officially over following SummerSlam 2021, which is probably the best decision for the two superstars. Next up, we had the United States Championship match between the defending champion Sheamus against challenger Damien Priest. Now while this match did not have a crazy amount of hype behind it going into SummerSlam 2021, Sheamus and Damien Priest put on an absolutely fantastic match tonight, and by all means this title match garnered a great reception from fans as being a truly great US title bout. After a back and forth grueling match between Damien Priest and Sheamus, which had fans on the edge of their seats, Damien Priest finally achieved a huge moment in his WWE career by defeating Sheamus to become the new United States Champion, which was definitely the right booking call, and there's no doubt WWE have a star on their hands with Damien Priest if they continue to book him well like this, and congrats to Damien Priest on the career-defining win tonight at SummerSlam. The Smackdown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos and Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio then followed, and this was a pretty solid tag team title match between the Mysterios and the Usos, and in very predictable fashion, the Usos managed to defeat Rey and Dominic Mysterio to retain their SmackDown Tag Team titles tonight at SummerSlam. Now the rumors ended up coming true when it came to the Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair SmackDown Women's Championship match being cancelled tonight at SummerSlam, and what ended up happening was downright shocking for more reasons than one. Not long after Bianca Belair came down to the ring and the news of Sasha Banks being unable to compete was announced, Becky Lynch made her shocking and surprise return to WWE, which definitely did receive a massive and thunderous reaction from fans, to confront Bianca Belair and demand a SmackDown Women's title match then and there, in which Bianca accepted. However, the part that is not sitting well with most fans is the fact that Becky Lynch proceeded to basically squash the champion Bianca Belair with Becky winning the Smackdown Women's Championship in very underwhelming fashion, and as a result of this poor booking decision on WWE's part that is getting ripped apart by fans on social media, Becky essentially destroyed and ruined Bianca Belair's momentum in WWE, and this did kind of ruin Becky Lynch's return tonight at SummerSlam, because while fans were initially happy to see Becky Lynch back, the way WWE booked her to squash Bianca Belair was not a well thought out plan, and made fans get very upset and angry, and reject Becky's comeback, which is truly disappointing, considering this was such a big return that seemed impossible to ruin. So by all means, let us know your thoughts on Becky Lynch's return tonight at SummerSlam, and Becky squashing Bianca Belair to win that SmackDown Women's Championship. We then had the singles match between Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, and there's no doubt that a lot of fans felt like this match was not going to be anything too special or significant in the grand scheme of things, and those fans were definitely right here. After a fairly rushed-seeming match, Drew McIntyre ended up picking up the uneventful win over Jinder Mahal with his signature Claymore kick. Another match that ended in a way that a lot of fans were not too pleased with tonight at SummerSlam 2021 was the Raw Women's Championship triple threat match between the defending champion Nikki ASH against her two challengers Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Now heading into this match, there's no doubt that most fans expected for Nikki ASH to lose her Raw Women's title to Charlotte Flair, with it seeming evident that WWE had no faith in Nikki as the champion, and unfortunately those rumors were true, and Charlotte Flair ended up winning the Raw Women's title tonight by making Nikki tap out to the figure 8 submission. While this was a very predictable match outcome, that hasn't stopped WWE from receiving backlash on this booking call, and let us know your thoughts on Nikki ASH's Raw Women's title run coming to an end tonight at SummerSlam at the hands of none other than Charlotte Flair. We then had the highly anticipated singles match between the Rated R superstar Edge and Seth Rollins. After a couple of bad booking calls on WWE's part earlier in the night at SummerSlam 2021, this was definitely the kind of match to get things back on track and get fans excited again, because there's no doubt that Edge and Seth Rollins put on a fantastic match tonight at SummerSlam, and in the end, Edge got the massive win over Seth Rollins, which is definitely going to help Edge remain at the top of the card on SmackDown moving forward. So overall a great decision and superb match between Rollins and Edge. We then had the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. Now this match was definitely a bit sloppy at some points, although at this stage of his career, Goldberg arguably performed a lot better than usual against Bobby Lashley tonight, and the match was actually pretty decent. However, the match ended in a very sad way, with the referee deciding to call it after Goldberg's knee gave out, and Bobby Lashley thus retained the WWE Championship, with Bobby also attacking Goldberg's son Gage afterwards. It looks as though Goldberg may have suffered an injury during this match, although hopefully not too severe. Now it is likely that another match between Goldberg and Bobby Lashley will be booked in the near future, and the chances of Bill winning the WWE Championship are actually very high now, with the way this match ended, with Lashley making things personal with Goldberg for going after his son. SummerSlam 2021 concluded with a main event Universal Championship match between Roman Reigns and John Cena, and without question there was that big fight feel for this title match between Cena and Reigns. Now the match itself between Roman Reigns and John Cena was definitely solid, and in the end, Roman Reigns defeated Cena to retain his Universal Championship, although an absolutely shocking return would occur after the match ended, because in truly shocking fashion, Brock Lesnar made his return to WWE with a pretty scary new look, to confront Roman Reigns and have a face-off with the head of the table. And by all means, this is the return storyline for Brock Lesnar that a lot of fans were hoping to see, as Brock Lesnar certainly has a reason to go after Roman Reigns, who has been managed by Paul Heyman over the past year. Regardless, Brock Lesnar's return was a huge surprise, and a truly major moment that made SummerSlam 2021 a very memorable show, and let us know your thoughts and opinions of Brock Lesnar's return tonight at SummerSlam.